Good morning. My name is Matt Brown. I use he, him pronouns. Welcome to our service. Whether you are at home online or here in person, we're glad to have you here. If you'd like more information about becoming a part of our vibrant community, please stop by the welcome table in the foyer after service or send an email to membership@unitytemple.org. We hope you have a meaningful experience and will join us again.
Good morning. It's good to see everyone here today. My name is Adam Gill. I'm a member of your Board of Trustees. My pronouns are he, him. There are a few things I'd like to share with you this morning. First, everyone is welcome to join us for coffee, cookies, conversation, and fellowship immediately following the service in Unity House, which is just across the foyer. If you'd like to join us for an activity during the week, those are listed in the order of service and in the e-beacon, which is our weekly newsletter that is emailed out on Fridays. In March, our transition team shared a draft congregational or relational covenant that we will be voting on and possibly adopting at the all-congregation meeting in 2 weeks on Sunday, April 30th. Today, I'd like to highlight a portion of that covenant which says, "We hereby covenant to embrace our congregational mission by becoming welcoming, kind, and compassionate, inviting all to engage in the work of the congregation, recognizing that each of us is on a unique spiritual journey, committing to justice, equity, diversity, and belonging." If you have any questions about the covenant or what this means, please seek out the transition team to share your thoughts. Now, about the congregation meeting, the all-congregation meeting, it is April 30th, 2 weeks from today. It will be here in person at Unity Temple after the service. All members are encouraged to register in advance. Childcare will be provided. The meeting has 3 agenda items. We will be greeting our new developmental minister, Reverend Roger Burtschausen. We will be voting on the relational covenant for our congregation, and as promised at the annual meeting in December, the board will provide a financial update and explain the board's plan for addressing the continuing deficit for 2023. We are glad that you have joined us today, and we hope that you find the service meaningful. I invite you to greet one another, whether online or here in person.
All right, that's enough of that. Good morning. I'm Marty Swisher, the music director here. My pronouns are she and her, and I'm here to announce and to emphasize the importance of the Spring Music Festival that will take place on Saturday, the 29th. Right here, it is going to be an outstanding event. You will save $5 by getting a ticket today rather than at the door. Are you busy on the 29th? Still get a ticket. This is an important opportunity to hear the amazing talent that you don't hear many of them from time to time, and me included. And we also are going to raise the money for the scholarship audition that awards $1,000 of music instruction for each winner. And we have 3 outstanding winners. In addition, anything raised above and beyond will go toward our beloved community that is in need. So please think about buying a ticket today after the service. Thank you.
Our cellist later today is Edward. Edward loves reading. Please join me in the words of our cellist lighting. We are Unitarian Universalists. This is the church of the open minds, loving hearts, and helping hands. We take care of the planet Earth and each other.
Don't you know that this strength that I had, no, the world didn't give it to me. World didn't give it to me. Oh yeah. Don't you know that the world didn't give it, the world wouldn't take it away. This love that I had. The world didn't give it to me, yeah, yeah. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Don't you know that this love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. This peace that I have, this pride that I have.
Look to this day, for it is life, the very life of life. In its brief course lie all the verities and realities of our existence, the bliss of growth, the glory of action, the splendor of beauty. For yesterday is but a dream, and tomorrow is only a vision. But today, well lived, makes every yesterday a dream of happiness, and every tomorrow a vision of hope. Look well, therefore, to this day. Whoever you are, wherever you are on your life journey, wherever you are in the world, you are welcome here. Come, let us worship together. I invite you to rise and body your spirit. We're going to sing This Little Light of Mine, which is 118 in the Gray Hymn Book.
Standing. And join me in the words of the covenant of this congregation. Love is the doctrine of this congregation. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humanity in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus we do covenant with each other and with God.
Good morning. Wow, what a great opening. My name is Diana Coates, and I'm part of our spiritual care team. We are a team that is available to you during difficult times and joyful times. We can provide a listening ear, spiritual support, presence, and prayer. You may identify us by our blue hearts. It's a time in our service when we share our joys and sorrows, and sharing our joys and sorrows is one of the ways we embody love. And love is the doctrine of this congregation. For those who attend in person, there's a book, a binder just behind me in the lobby, and you can sign up before the service starts. You can also email pastoralassociates.org or Unity Temple for joys and sorrows. If you come to the lobby, somebody will be there to help you. For those of you online, good morning, and you may enter your joys and sorrows now. Today's joys and sorrows are, we joyfully welcome our visitors from Fox Valley UU Fellowship. Where are you? There they are. And they're having a youth group adventure weekend in Chicago. Welcome. Big welcome. Nancy Sidman's mother passed away peacefully March 27th, and she's thankful for all the love and support she has received. And Nancy, we hold you in our hearts and your family as you go through these next times, these next difficult times. And from Maureen Crotty, these are her words. I am now in end-stage kidney disease. I am grateful to be feeling well currently, but may be facing dialysis sometime soon due to my kidneys' steady decline. Life expectancy for individuals 70 plus on dialysis is 4 years. Therefore, I'm on a quest to find a living donor. The current wait time for a kidney from a deceased donor is 5 to 10 years. Most healthy people between 18 and 70 can donate the gift of life, and long-term risks to donors are minimal. Maureen and her team will be at coffee hour today with flyers. And maybe you're thinking, well, I don't want to donate a kidney. How can I help? And there are 4 other ways you can help. She has the flyers today. She'll have them in the coffee hour. Dear Maureen, I don't know where you are in this room right now. Oh, there you are. But we surround you with our love, our strength, and your courage to keep on and to embark on your quest for life. Our sanctuary is filled with unspoken joys and sorrows. I invite anyone with a joy or a sorrow on their mind to come forward and silently drop a stone in the bowl of water. The bowl represents the container we create in this worship place, and the water represents our community we create within this sacred space. The stones mingle our joys and sorrows and represent how life is made up of so many emotions and feelings. If you wish to participate in this meaningful ritual, please come forward on the side aisles and return down the center. We will be singing Spirit of Life, which is in your program, and we'll sing it all the way to the end.
for a few moments of intentional breathing and inspiration. If it's comfortable, close your eyes. If it's not, don't. And as we focus on our breath, filling our lungs with the breath of life itself, and exhale, just letting go of anything which no longer serves you. Feel the breath in your body, in your lungs. And then let go on the exhalation. Just let go. Soften shoulders, soften belly. So breathing in and breathing out. Spirit of life, source of all love, be here with us today. And for those struggling with loss in all its various forms, may you recognize the love and the support in this community that is there for you. For those struggling with questions that seem to have no answers, may you find comfort in the rhythms of nature, speaking with someone, perhaps one of us. For those celebrating joyful events, may you share your joy and happiness with the congregation like a gentle breeze on a spring morning. We are a welcoming, compassionate community. And remember that love is the doctrine of this church. May you walk in beauty for the rest of this day. Namaste. That spark of the divine in me beholds that in you. In that we are one. Namaste. Blessed be.
If you are somebody who likes to come close when you're listening to a story, I invite you to come and sit down on the floor here near me. Simon always wins my prize for being the first person down here. Thank you. Someone has to be the leader. Thanks for lighting the chalice at work. So, before I left on sabbatical, you all and I and the kids that were here talked about what are some things I might do while I was away. So I wanted to check back in with you. I looked at that list, and I'm sorry to say that I did not discover any new planets. And I only played with dinosaurs a little bit, but I did play foosball and put puzzles together, and I did some singing. And you know what I did that you told me was really important? I did a lot of sleeping, and I did a lot of thinking, and I did a lot of wondering, and I wondered a lot about how you were and what you were doing. And this book is called You Are a Story, and this is kind of some of the things that I was wondering about and thinking about you while I was gone. You are a living thing. You breathe, you eat, you sleep. You work and you play, you have dreams and fears, you have thoughts and memories. You are. You are someone's child. You might have one parent or two. You might have relatives who take care of you. You might be adopted. No matter who your family is, you deserve all the love you can get. You are an animal. You're a member of the mammal family. You have bones, you have hair, you drink milk, even if you don't like it. You are closely related to the chimpanzee. Like all other animals, you call Earth home. You are a body of water. More than half of you is made of water. The water in your sweat cools you off. The water in your saliva helps you eat. The water in your blood helps carry nutrients to your body. Rivers flow through you. You are an astronaut. You are a passenger on a ship called Earth. You sail around a star called the sun. The sun voyages through a galaxy called the Milky Way. You are always moving through space. You are a sponge. You are constantly soaking up new information. You are a student of the world. You learn by trying new things. You absorb everything you see, hear, taste, touch, smell, and touch. You are a friend. You are someone who likes to play with others. Others also like to play with you. You share, you listen, you care about how others feel. You are someone others can count on. You are under construction. You are not a finished person. You are a work in progress. You are growing, learning, and changing every day. Even when you grow up, you still won't be finished. Life is always building you. You are a mystery. What will you be when you grow up? What will you look like? Will you have children of your own? Where will you live? Who will you live with? Nobody knows, not even you. You are one of a kind. Even if you are a twin, there is no one exactly like you. There has never been another you. You are the only you that will ever be. You cannot be copied. You are unique. You are special. You are a miracle. You started out as one tiny cell inside another person. You split into 2 cells, then 4, then 8. You grew into a baby. You pushed your way out into the world. You became your own person. You are a story. You are the author of your own life. Every day is a blank page waiting for you to fill it. Make your story funny, make it interesting, make it an adventure. Tell your story to others, then listen to theirs. The end. I look forward to hearing all your stories. All right, I'm going to send you out to Unity House. Our reading is a poem by Steve Cowett. It's called Notice. This evening, the sturdy Levi's I wore every day for over a year, and which seemed to the end in perfect condition, suddenly tore. How or why, I don't know. But there it was, a big rip at the crotch. A month ago, my friend Nick walked off the racquetball court, showered, got into his street clothes, and halfway home collapsed and died. Take heed, you who read this, and drop to your knees now and again like the poet Christopher Smart, and kiss the earth, and be joyful, and make much of your time, and be kindly to everyone, even to those who do not deserve it. For although you may not believe it will happen, you too will one day be gone. I, whose Levi's ripped at the crotch for no reason, assure you that such is the case. Pass it on. Take a breath. Take another one. Now, take the deepest breath you have taken all day. There, you've given yourself a tiny taste of what a sabbatical is like. A deep, deep breath, one that soaks all the way through your body and soul and spirit. In Unitarian Universalist congregations, it is standard practice for a minister serving a congregation to earn 1 month of sabbatical leave per year of service, eligible to take it after 6 years of service for not more than 6 months. I returned from my 6-month sabbatical 2 weeks ago. It was my third one in this, my 26th year of ordained ministry, when I have served 2 congregations over the course of this time. A sabbatical is a period of time in which a minister gets an extended time to breathe deeply, to rest and recharge, to change their perspective, to experience vocation away from the daily tasks of ministry, to tend to their physical and spiritual and emotional health. In that way, it's an investment in the minister and in the congregation. Both are enriched by this time, during and afterwards, by what we learn and experience separately and then back together. I did not set out with a detailed plan for these 6 months. I knew that my first stop would be the couch. And so I bring you my first noticing from my sabbatical. 1, rest is resistance. You know how it is when you are preparing to be away, whether at home or at work, and you have to organize all the things that will make it possible for you to be away. There was a lot of that this fall for me. There were plenty of times when I had said to myself, I just need to get through this, and then I will, fill in the blank here, eat healthier, exercise more, take a real day off, whatever. In other words, I kept choosing accomplishing things instead of taking care of myself. Friday, September 30th, I was in the office for about 11 hours frantically trying to finally check off all the things on my list. And then I was done. It was a strange sensation settling into this time. I'm so used to checking things off a list, if only in my head, that I looked around the house thinking, okay, now I can read those 3-month pile of newspapers and magazines. Now I can organize the bins in the garage. The possibilities seemed endless of all the things I could do and accomplish. But what my body began to tell me was that I needed to rest, and then rest some more, and then rest some more. So I listened and I did that. The phrase rest is resistance is borrowed from a book title by Tricia Hersey, who founded something called the NAP Ministry. The premise of that movement is to elevate the power of rest in pushing back against capitalism and white supremacy, or as it says on the book jacket, our worth does not reside in how much we produce, especially not for a system that exploits and dehumanizes us. Rest, in its simplest form, becomes an act of resistance and a reclaiming of power because it asserts our most basic humanity. We are enough. There's a whole lot to unpack here, and I particularly love this last piece. We are enough. We are enough. I say this to my internal voice that tells me my day need not be measured by how much I have done. I say this to you to remind you to center your own care and love as much as you can. With apologies to Mary Oliver, I wonder, tell me, how is it you plan to be in your one wild and precious life? 2, the wonder of jellyfish. My wife and I did a lot of museum hopping in these months, and one day in February, we went to Shedd Aquarium. We saw many things, but when I saw these jellyfish, I literally thought, now that is a sermon. I can't tell you how many times I've watched this video and a few other videos I took of the various kinds of jellyfish. I don't even know how to put words to what I feel when I watch this, but I'm telling you, it's like in the face of such mystery and beauty, I can actually feel my soul stir inside me. So much awe. Over the course of my sabbatical, I felt something happen to my spirit. Something got peeled away, and I was able to notice things more deeply. In the mornings, as I came out of the bathroom into the dark bedroom, I could hear the dog shake himself and then his paws landing on the floor, ready to follow me out for a walk. After a 4-year hiatus, my wife and I went to one of our favorite restaurants and eating one of my all-time favorite dishes, vegetarian kung pao. It was a transcendent experience. My son Paul comes home from the barber shop with a slick cut and this rich, spicy, hair tonic-y aroma that my nose just drinks in. Our family went on a cruise in January, and Paul and I rode this water slide. It was really a water coaster that went out over the ocean with delicious speed and splash over and over and over again. The vibrancy of so much is always possible, always around us, if only we pay attention to it. I know this and I practice it, and yet I realized I was not as fully alive to each and every moment as I might be. I saw a tweet from a person named Tanya that I have saved. Tanya writes, "I had a French professor who once said, if you did something like going to the supermarket and experienced it fully without the goggles of habit and categories, you would go crazy with pure sense and joy." I love this, and I keep this and the jellyfish as a reminder. 3, because of those who came before, we are. I come from a long line of people who have always loved history and have always been fascinated by stories of people and events, in part to help me understand why things or people are the way they are. While on sabbatical, I listened to podcasts on Chappaquiddick, on the Tulsa race riots, on the events of January 6th, on the 6 wives of Henry VIII. I read the 1619 Project book from cover to cover. This is the project started by Nicole Hannah-Jones, which centers the events of 1619, the year that the first ship of enslaved people arrived here from Africa, and takes that as our origin story. It is a powerful and important reframing that had me saying, oh, that's why our healthcare system / our government / our penal system is the way that it is. That is to say, racism and fear and power played out in this way in this arena, and this way in that arena, and this is why things are the way they are today. Racism and fear and power are woven into our history in every way you can imagine and more. I'm curious about how my own familial history is woven in and through our country's story. I spent a lot of time on Ancestry.com, reaching back from rural southwestern Pennsylvania coal mining country to West Virginia, to Maryland, to New England, and back over the ocean to Italy and Germany. I was, through the privilege of my race, which means records have been kept, and through the research of others connected to my own tree, able to go back quite far. I went far enough in one branch such that I discovered both my 5th and 6th great-grandfathers, Isaac and William Gage, both fought in the Revolutionary War. Right now, I'm at the stage where I can peer at the names and records of my ancestors and wonder just at that. I look forward to any stories I may be able to uncover, whatever their content may be. I also have been listening frequently to the Pop Culture Preservation Society podcast, which celebrates pop culture elements of a Gen X childhood. And this has given me another way of reflecting on how and who I am. Because of those who came before, we are the words of the Reverend Barbara Peskin from a benediction in our Singing the Living Tradition hymn book. Especially in U.S. American culture, we tend to think of ourselves as autonomous individuals, but really, we just aren't. We are shaped and formed by all that has come before, and all those who are part of building the world around us and for us. At the end of October, I drove up to Duluth, Minnesota to do a life review retreat. The Reverend Karen Gustafson, who listened to me, shared her stories and wisdom and helped me along my journey of ministry. On the way home, I stopped to see my friends and colleagues, the Reverend Barbara Peskin and her wife, the Reverend Ann Tyndall. Our stories in ministry have been intertwined for a long time in multiple ways, not the least of which was that the Reverend Barbara Peskin was the first out lesbian to be called to a UU congregation, and that congregation was Beacon Unitarian Church of Oak Park, which later became part of Unity Temple Unitarian Universalist congregation. It was a gift to reconnect with these people that I love. Because of those who came before, we are, Peskin writes. In spite of their failings, we believe. Because of and in spite of the horizons of their vision, we too dream. 4, slow down. Years ago, I picked up Jane Austen's novel, Pride and Prejudice, and read the first few pages. I thought to myself, I know exactly how this ends. I checked the back of the book, confirmed my suspicion, and I put it down. But this fall, I picked it back up. Live from Pemberley, a Hot and Bothered podcast was going to walk through Pride and Prejudice. And so every other week, I read a chapter or two and listen to the hosts discuss that section and consult various experts on various things related to the novel and delight in the journey along the way to the predictable ending. It has been an experience of thorough enjoyment. The pace helps me notice more. I rest in beautiful sentences. The plot is drawn out and even suspenseful. I take the time to fully absorb it all. So glad I decided to slow down. I've been thinking a lot about the importance of slowing down. This American Life did an episode on the 10 people who were killed in the Buffalo, New York grocery store who were shopping in last May. The episode was called Name, Age, Detail. And most of what we heard in the news about this story was the number of victims. Sometimes we got an age, sometimes a little detail. But this hour-long episode told stories about each of those 10 people because, as host Ira Glass noted, we're all of us too big to fit into one sentence. In my visit to the Illinois Holocaust and Education Center in Skokie, which does an amazing job of explaining the history of all that conspired to make the murder of millions of people possible, I was most moved by this presentation of the life of a survivor named Renee Firestone. Steven Spielberg decided to interview a number of survivors, and they took days to record their answers to every single question that they could think of. And then, through the magic of technology, now at the center you can watch a video of a person's story, and then the person, in our case, Renee Firestone, appears in holographic form as if she is sitting there. And then we, me and like 50 middle school students, could ask her questions. That kind of firsthand account witness, it was incredibly powerful. It is easy always to get caught up in the big picture, but sometimes it is best to slow down and tend to the details. Annie Lamott writes, rest and laughter are the most spiritual and subversive acts of all. Laugh, rest, slow down. And finally, 5, connection is joy. In the past 6 weeks or so, I had 2 unexpected visits from long-time friends, one who I grew up with on Denniston Avenue in Pittsburgh and have literally known forever, and another who I met sometime in seminary. That friend and I can no longer recall our first meeting, only that suddenly we were friends. I had not seen either one of these friends for years, but it was, as it sometimes is with people, as if no time had passed. We could pick up right where we left off. There's something so grounding and life-giving about this kind of relationship. Having a temporary absence from my active relationship with the congregation, I thought a lot about why it is that we come together. There's the part about how our joys are increased and our sorrows lessened when we are together. And there's a part about how we make each other stronger and learn from each other. And in this particular community, work together to make the world more like our vision. And there's this from Gabor Mate: safety is not the absence of threat, it is the presence of connection. So much is happening in our world now that is designed to create fear and isolation and powerlessness. Now, more than ever, kindness and courage and connection are needed. My son Paul wanted me to mention in my sermon that he and I spent sabbatical time watching every single episode of Lego Ninjago, which is a show about a group of friends with ninja skills and elemental powers. Our dog Lloyd is named after the Green Ninja. In pretty much every season, almost every episode, the characters are saved by each other or by joining together, just like we are, over and over again. The poet and essayist Ross Gay says, "The most important thing is for us to be close to each other. Joy is so often practicing being part of something larger than yourself, a kind of joining. That's why joy is dangerous. When we become part of something larger than ourselves, we become a little wild." Take a breath. Take another one. Now take the deepest breath you have taken all day. May we fully inhabit these moments of rest and slow down. May we understand ourselves as part of history and community. May we know connection filled with joy and love, and so may it always be.
I'll go slow. It's hard for me to go slow, but I try. My name is Paul Beckwith. And if you're new here, every week our community gives money out of these offering plates that are being passed around to an organization that we have values towards. And so I'm going to jump ahead. Some of you are new. I want to tell you, I'm about BUILD, B-U-I-L-D. BUILD is situated in the Austin area. It's a community directly east of us. There's 87,000 people that live there. And Oak Park over the years have really tried to do a lot with Austin. But I've been very involved with BUILD for the last 6 years, primarily because if there was one thing, I breathe heavy, but it's hard for me to breathe heavy when there's an average of 47 people killed every week in Chicago. So what Austin has done with BUILD is we developed this center there. We just built a new building. It's about $21 million. We got a lot of money from a lot of different people, but their number one purpose is intervention and creating some purpose for the kids in Austin, but also on the west side of Chicago. The good news, the last 3 months or 4, we're down almost a third of where we were last year, the first quarter. Now, part of that has to do with BUILD because we have 130 employees there. We have 18 people who work the streets. All these people are convicts that have been in jail, and they walk up to groups and say, if you want to continue to be like me, you're going to end up in jail. they're right on the earth part. The other thing that they've done really well, they have 4 vans that go out on the whole west side of Chicago, and any type of a shot or intrusion of any sort. There's 3 people that work 24 hours in that community with helping the people who are victims, but also the community there. They're really, really making a difference. And I guess we all have to take brief breaths, but I think I also, personally, I'm an ADD and I have to do something. But the point is, I feel very, very strong about that we are making a difference. And many of you have given money to build, and I really appreciate it. But this is ongoing. And the good news is our new mayor of Chicago lives in Austin, and he was over there, we've talked, and I think we're going to try to extend some of the stuff that we're doing with Build in Chicago, because that's really one of our main things we've got to change, and it's going to take a long time. But again, I appreciate it. And we talk about joy. I'm joyful, but I also need to encourage you. Every penny you give will go to a good purpose. Also, every penny you give today will be matched. There's 2 ways you can do. One is in the offering. The other thing, you can write a check that goes to Unity Temple and just put Build, and that money will be matched, okay? So whatever joy is, whatever satisfaction is, we really appreciate it in terms of Build. And after I think of Build, I can take a deep breath because I know we're making a difference. Thank you.
Let's all join in singing number 368. Now let us sing.
Our closing words are from John Morgan. In the end, it won't matter how much we have, but how generously we have given. It won't matter how much we know, but rather how well we live. It won't matter how much we believe, but how deeply we love. Please join with me in the words of the chalice extinguishing. Carry the flame of peace and love until we meet again. You may be seated.
May peace be your goal. for joining us. I hope you found this service meaningful. My name is Dawn Rose, and my pronouns are she, her, and they. I've attended services at Unity Temple since 2014, and I joined the congregation as a member in 2017. In this congregation, I've experienced a welcoming community, intellectual curiosity, and inspiration. Our values of connection, transformation, justice, and acceptance align with my own personal values, and my participation gives me access to diverse ways to contribute and live my spiritual beliefs throughout the week. I have served on our Restorative Justice Committee and currently serve the staff and congregation on our Personnel Committee. In a world of challenging circumstances and even heartbreak, I have found refuge and restoration among this community. Our worship services and all the other wonderful things we accomplish are made possible by contributions of members and friends of this Unity Temple congregation. I ask you to join us in financially supporting our work. You may donate by using the QR code on your screen or by mailing a check to Unity Temple, UU Congregation, 875 Lake Street, Oak Park, Illinois, 60301, or by giving on our website, unitytemple.org, then clicking on Donate at the top of the screen, then clicking on PayPal and giving by credit card or your PayPal account. I'm asking you to support all the wonderful work we do at Unity Temple, welcoming all, inspiring compassion, nurturing wonder, and serving community. Many of our activities are available online for you. You can learn more about how we carry out our mission on our website, unitytemple.org, and find out about our many support groups, faith and action teams, social groups, faith development groups, and music programs. Thank you, and may your gift bring you joy.